Welcome to Bill's Aviation Podcast, where your stories are our stories. I'm a general aviation pilot, aviation writer, airplane builder, avionics developer, test pilot, and general screw-up. All stories feature Joe and his merry band of miscreants. The purpose of these stories is to educate and entertain pilots. If you have a story you'd like to share anonymously, please contact me. Today's story is titled, Almost Getting Sucked Up into a Thunderstorm. There's nothing like flying a monster of a rental Cessna 150 on a hot and humid summer day, as Joe found out. Joe was cruising along westbound at 2,500 feet on his way to Princeton, New Jersey, for no other reason than to stay current and to check out the city of Princeton. The cloud base was at about 3,500 feet, with clear but bumpy air below. Joe was all alone and enjoying the unlimited visibility below the clouds. Sure, the clouds were dark above him, but hey, they were above him, nothing to worry about. The C-150 was ripping along in the smooth air, probably 120 miles an hour. Joe thought to himself that he had never seen a 150 go that fast before. Worried about possibly overspeeding the engine, he pulled back the power a little and slowed to a blistering 110 miles an hour. Reaching for his lunch, Joe started snacking as the 150 motored along. With a mouthful of peanut butter and jelly, the 150 started gaining altitude. No big deal. A little down trim and the plane would continue on straight and level. Well, not so fast, as the 150 continued to gain altitude. Joe then reduced power to prevent the plane from climbing. But that didn't work, as it continued to climb, slowly at first, but it was definitely going up. The air was still smooth as could be, but the plane continued to climb, even with reduced power and down trim. Eventually, Joe had the throttle pulled all the way out, and the plane was pointing downhill. What was going on? Joe was wondering to himself. Joe was startled by a nearby burst of lightning. It was then that he realized the cloud above him was darker than the others, and his vertical speed indicator was heading towards 2,000 feet per minute, up. Joe had read about airplanes getting sucked into thunderstorms before, but that had always happened at higher altitudes, not down here and not with the mighty Cessna 150. With the cloud base approaching, the airplane pointed down, but going up, there was only one thing left to do, and that was call the engine room and ask Scotty for warp speed. After applying full power, the little 150 flew out of the updraft, probably 100 feet before entering the base of the clouds. With the airplane now heading downhill, Joe got the vertical and cruise speeds under control and made a wide left turn to avoid the cloud that had tried to suck him up into it, and returned home. The heck with this planned destination. Lesson learned: when flying under dark clouds, assume they could be a thunderstorm with violent up and down drafts. Give them wide berths. Also, if you see a puffy cloud that is darker than the rest, from underneath, assume it's a thunder cell hiding in there, looking to give someone the ride of their life, and give it a wide berth as well. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed what you heard, please hit the like button, /thumbs up, and subscribe by clicking on the logo on the lower right of your screen. If you really like what you heard, please help support the channel and become a Patreon. Part of each donation will go to aviation safety and aviation youth programs. Be sure to check out next week's story about Joe meeting a controller he spoke to a few years earlier while on a long cross-country flight.